Hey guys, this is NWO Reverend 96 here, finally out from behind the camera. I decided today I'm going to try to do my first movie review. And today I've got a little help from my friend from the upcoming Star Wars The Force Awakens movie directed by J.J. Abrams, Kylo Ren. Kylo, say hi. Hi everybody. Hopefully it doesn't sound like that in the actual movie. Anyway, the movie I'm going to review today is Star Trek Into Darkness, if you can see that right there. Also directed by J.J. Abrams, by the way. So instead of going over the synopsis of the movie in my own words, I'm just going to read what it says on the back of the Blu-ray here, just so you have an idea. And I'm not going to give away the whole plot or anything. J.J. Abrams' Star Trek Into Darkness is the best reviewed blockbuster of the year. Okay, I don't remember what else came out in 2013, but I'll take your word for it. Anyway, when a ruthless mastermind known as Khan, who's played by Benedict Cumberbatch, and by the way, there's the big spoiler of the movie there, declares a one-man war on the Federation, Captain Kirk, Chris Pine, Spock, Zachary Quinto, sorry for the pronunciation, and the daring crew of the USS Enterprise, by the way, who are all returning cast from the 2009 movie, set out on the most explosive manhunt of all time. It will take everything in their arsenal to defend Earth and eliminate Khan's threat in this sleek, thrilling epic, quote, end quote. Wow, it makes it sound like an episode of The Fugitive with the manhunt and everything. But anyway, I was really excited when I first saw the trailer of this movie, the one where Cumberbatch is narrating over it, saying what he's going to do to everybody and how things are going to be. And at the time, there was a mystery to who his character actually was. And they had a code name for him, which is John Harrison in the movie. And by the way, sorry, I did kind of spoil who he actually is by reading the synopsis, which I can't believe they put on the back here. But yeah, there was a lot of mystery as to who he was, and I had a couple of ideas of other Star Trek characters, or he might have even been an original. But anyway, I was really looking forward to this movie when I first saw the first trailer for it, and then the subsequent trailers were also really good too. And I went to see it, I think the day after it opened, and I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I was going to, because I thought there was going to be a little more substance to the story. And not quite, I mean, the trailer showed a lot of action and stuff, but I thought it was going to complement kind of more of the story, and as opposed to being more just explosions for the sake of explosions. Not as bad as a Michael Bay movie, mind you, but still, it was a little excessive considering that the story felt a little kind of simple and a little bit hollow. But, I mean, I still enjoyed the characters in the movie. Like I said, all the returning cast was great, and like I said, Cumberbatch is awesome. I love him in Sherlock, and I know a lot of people complained that him being Khan was kind of racially incompatible because, you know, here you have a British white guy trying to play a guy who's supposed to be from India. But I know they could have easily done a scene where they explain that they changed his appearance and voice or something like that. I thought they tried to squeeze a lot of references to previous Star Trek movies, especially, well, obviously the Wrath of Khan, into this movie. And some of it felt natural, but a lot of it felt kind of just forced, like, hey, you know, the Wrath of Khan existed, so we're going to reference it because we have Khan in our movie. Yippee skippy, woohoo! But like I said, I thought everyone did a good job with their role. Like I said, Cumberbatch was great. He's a great villain. He was also great as Smaug in the Desolation of Smaug, which came out the same year. So Cumberbatch had a pretty big year in 2013. The ending felt a little rushed, and I'm not going to spoil that. Like I said, I'm not going to spoil the entire movie, just hit some of the key plot points, but it felt very rushed, and it was kind of a Deus Ex Machina kind of you know, hey, let's get the MacGuffin and make everything, you know, the way it was before. So I was a little disappointed in that. I am excited to see the next Star Trek movie, which is coming out, I think is it next year or the year after? Star Trek Beyond, which will not be directed by J.J. Abrams since he's moved on to Star Wars. As you can see, my Kylo Ren t-shirt. But I guess it's in the hands of Simon Pegg and I forget the other guy, but I have faith in this movie. And but anyway, back to Star Trek Into Darkness. Overall, yeah, it's a great movie. Was it as good as the 2009 Star Trek? No, it was not as good as the 2009 one. But it's a good movie in its own right. I don't really have a rating system, but I mean, if I had to say like a rating out, you know, out of 5, I'd probably give it, maybe a 3.5 out of 5. You know, little, you know, it was good. It just wasn't great. But I would, and definitely if you haven't seen the 2009 Star Trek, I would recommend watching that first before you watch this. But it's a fun movie. It's very fun. The special effects are great. I think there's a little too much reliance on the CG, but still, everything looks and sounds great. And if you can get it on Blu-ray, you know, that's the best way to watch it. It looks great on a 1080p TV, and I'm sure it would look great on a 4K TV if I had one, but I don't. So, but yeah, I would recommend at least watching it once after you've seen the 2009 Star Trek. So hopefully soon I will be doing some more movie reviews and maybe even some video game reviews. I would like to do that. And on a side note, I just like to brag that I'm going to see Star Wars The Force Awakens opening night. I got my tickets and I'm just so psyched. I'm trying not to get too excited, but at the same time, you know, I'm not going to be one of those Debbie Downers who's like, oh, I got burned by the Phantom Menace, so I'm going to be cautious about this one. No, I'm going to have fun with it, you know? It's going to be great. It's Star Wars. It's got the original cast, and J.J. Abrams, I think, will do a great job with it, just as he did with the 2 Star Trek movies. So I am psyched, and hopefully I will be back soon with another movie review. This is NW Reverend 96 signing off. Have a great night.